Hi, everybody. It's meteorologist Joe Chaffee. After looking at the afternoon models, I want to update you on what's going on. We have a few adjustments and changes, and some of them important. First off, the high wind warning for the Jersey Shore, Long Island, and for coastal Connecticut continues. So does the hurricane force wind warning for the offshore waters south of Long Island and just east of New York Harbor. We also have the coastal flood watch that remains in effect. But now, in addition to that, we have winter storm watches up for Sussex County and also up for parts of eastern Pennsylvania. We have winter weather advisories that are posted for Passaic County in New Jersey and for Orange County, Putnam County, Dutchess, Ulster, and Sullivan counties as you go north up the Hudson Valley. One of the things that I've been kind of banging my head on the desk for the last day or so, especially the NAM model, which continually is coming in colder and colder. And I want you to look here at the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is the 850 millibar level. I think what the NAM is seeing is that they're seeing that there must be some layer of cold air somewhere between the highest levels of the atmosphere and the lowest that it's keying on. And where you see all this blue, and you might even take into account some areas just south of the 32-degree line here. This is tomorrow afternoon. This is temperatures below freezing at the 5,000 foot level, and it actually gets pretty far to the south. This is tomorrow evening at 1 a.m. and that zero is down to New York City into the northern third of almost down to Route 195, but not quite. But all of northern New Jersey is below zero at the 850 level, and then you go up west of the Hudson, up into the Catskills and in northeastern Pennsylvania, and then gradually by 4 a.m. Tuesday, it's cold all over the place except for right along the immediate coast. And there's your surface low sitting east of Salisbury. I want to show you, because I've kind of been not doing this, but I want to show you what it does with snowfall maps on the NAM, on the new one. And every run has been further south with total snowfall, and it's basically showing 6 inches or more north and west of Route 78 in New Jersey into northeastern Pennsylvania, and then up the Hudson Valley west of the Hudson. Even brings a couple of inches, believe it or not, pretty far south into New Jersey and toward New York City and western Long Island and into southwestern Connecticut with some higher amounts as you go north. Now, just bear in mind, this is a 10-to-1 ratio. Temperatures are not that cold. It's probably going to be less than 8 to 1. So you want to conservatively cut this in half. The thing that runs in my mind, given that we're dealing with all the dynamics that we are in the atmosphere, that this could wind up being something like what happens when you have an early snowfall in the fall. One of the things that comes to mind is the late October 2011 storm, which did it basically all with upper level dynamics and just clobbered parts of Connecticut, a good chunk of Connecticut. With heavy wet snow that wound up knocking power out in some places for weeks. I'm not saying it's a repeat performance. I'm not even suggesting that it reminds me of that, because it's nothing's really ever the same. But it's playing out in that way because of the fact that temperatures are so warm today in the 50s. Now, one of the things that's going on in the upper air that's important. This is the upper air storm at 18,000 feet at the 500 millibar level. The NAM keeps it pretty well intact as it moves it out offshore, and that's a big difference because prior runs were lifting this northward and opening it up as another little trough was coming down, was back up through the Great Lakes and sort of merging the two, but it keeps it as a distinct entity. So it's the cold air underneath this upper feature that becomes very important here, and as the system evolves. I'll take a look at the GFS to try to gain a difference, and you can see it's got that intact upper low, and it tracks that initially the GFS initially a day or two ago was completely eliminating this feature and just lifting it up as sort of an open trough, but now it agrees with the NAM's idea of keeping it as a separate entity and maintaining its strength as it moves through. So let's just deal real fast with some of the other issues. And the first one is I'm going to look at the wind. We'll go back. We'll look at the wind field to see what the new run generates. And let me just get a little bit. There we go. So that's on course in terms of the wind. In fact, it extends that strong wind area down even further south to the Delmarva Peninsula, southern areas of the Delmarva Peninsula as the low redevelops. And it looks like it expanded the area on this particular run for coastal New Jersey and for Long Island. Those strong winds continue into the early morning hours on Tuesday, and then they start to gradually subside somewhat as we go through the day on Tuesday. So, look, I think the bottom line is that if you are inland, north and west of New York City and north of Philadelphia, going up into northeastern Pennsylvania, northwest New Jersey, and the Hudson Valley, I think you have to understand the fluidity of the situation with regards to snow, that this is going to be something that we're just going to be kind of playing catch up on this as we go along. We're just going to have to see what generates, what the radar looks like, and how it all plays out. In terms of total liquid precipitation, it's still, this is the dam, still being fairly generous with 1.5 to 2 inch plus amounts. I'm sorry, this is the GFS, which actually got a little more bullish on the last run with 1.5 to 2 inch amounts in some places. And let's look at the NAM to see what that did. And yeah, I mean, you know, same idea here. So the liquid precipitation that it's going to generate is pretty generous. So if you can have near where that zero line is, if you can have intense precipitation, very strong vertical motions in the atmosphere that will essentially cool the atmosphere from the top down, that you're going to wind up in some places with a heavy wet snow surprise. So we're going to focus in and just kind of try to put this all together. And you can check out all the latest website posts on meteorologistjoechaffee.com. And if you like my new YouTube videos, please subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. You'll get notified every time there's a new video that comes up. And we'll continue to keep you posted on the goings on here with regards to this developing nor'easter.